The Sports Scouting Report with Lee Burkeen. Brought to you by Medine's Collision Center in Baton Rouge. Take control, choose Medine's. Grosse Savant Lodge, south of Lake Charles, the true sportsman's paradise. Treads and Care Company in Central, the tires you need, the service you want. Harvey Auto in Shreveport, Bossier City, the name you have trusted for years. And Gage in Baton Rouge. Get better connected with Gage. Here's your host, Lee Burkeen.
Hi, everyone. I'm Lee Burkeen, your host of the Sports Scouting Report podcast. We got a great show today. We got Calvary Baptist all the way from Shreveport, Louisiana. And we got the head coach, Rodney Guillen. We got Marvin Williams, who's the offensive coordinator and also offensive line coach. And we have three recruits that are all underclassmen. What I mean by that, they're not class of 223, they're 224s and 225s, and they're all starters. Some of these kids have started their second year already at Calvary Baptist. They're going to have a chance to win a state championship this coming season, which, believe it or not, spring's going to start. We're going to talk about Coach. Before you know it, snap your fingers. Practice will be starting, for some schools, early May, April, and depending on what they choose. But we'll be right back with more of the Sports Scouting Report.
Listen, whatever you're driving right now, Tommy Harvey wants it. Bring it in to Harvey Subaru, Lexus of Shreveport, Bossier City, or John Harvey Toyota. They're paying big bucks for all trades right now. They'll cut you a check right there. Tell them Lee sent you.
What does that bug man do?
Not only do we do pest control, we do odor control, bat removal, moisture control, rodents, and of course, bed bug control. Give the bug man a call. We get them before they get you.
Welcome back. I'm Lee Burkeen, your host of Sports Scouting Report podcast. Be sure to go to YouTube where you can subscribe for free or wherever you get your podcasts. We're on Podbean, or you go to our website, lafootballmagazine.com. It's all over the place. Twitter. I'm not a big Twitter guy, but we promote our shows on Twitter. We've got three recruits that'll be joining us later in the show from Calvary Baptist. Our first guest is Rodney Guillen, who's got a long career in high school coaching. Started Houghton, had a long career at Houghton High School. Currently at Calvary Baptist, won a state championship recently at Calvary Baptist. And before we go to Coach Guillen, I want to make a correction on my Monday show. I think I was coming off an hour's sleep like Coach was from the Dallas Cowboys game, but I mentioned Kevin Falk accidentally as the running backs coach at LSU. But it's Frank Wilson, and I knew that. But I want to make that correction. Also, high school championship games are this week, all in one place, one venue at the Superdome, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I mentioned Friday, Saturday, but it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, all the high school championship games. Coach, again, thanks for joining us.
Glad to be here.
You told me you only got a couple hours sleep going to the Sunday game, Dallas game, right?
Yeah, Sunday night game. So, long night.
You had a chance to talk to Dak? Do you get a chance to talk to him game day or just?
Yeah, we text back and forth on game day, just wishing him luck and, stay safe and all that. And but we stay in touch.
The owner of this restaurant and several guys I know, they always follow the NFL games. And a buddy of mine actually, I think he bet on the game. And I said, you did pretty good. He took the Cowboys. I said, what was it, 54 points? Or?
Yeah. I think so. Yeah.
Over the Giants, huh?
No, it was the Colts.
Colts, yeah. A lot of turnovers.
Yeah, a lot of turnovers, a lot of points.
For people that are not from Shreveport or North Louisiana, Coach Dak Prescott at Houghton High School as a quarterback, went to Mississippi State, had a great career. And I'm not a Cowboys fan. I'm a Saints fan. I'm a Steelers fan, actually. No offense to the Cowboys, but I'm a Dak Prescott fan.
Yeah, thank you.
And what do you think, before we get into talking about Calvary, what do you think of the Cowboys' chances for all the Louisiana?
They're playing well. Great defense. And so that's going to give them a chance, I think, to win a bunch of games.
What do you think of those linebackers they have? I mean,
they're good.
Incredible.
They're good. Parsons is crazy good.
Micah's probably the best in the league, huh?
Yeah, he's a game changer, no doubt.
And you got Damone Clark from LSU who's coming on.
Yeah, he's playing well. The Wilson kid from Shreveport, Donovan Wilson's playing very well. Probably an all-pro year for him, I would think.
Woodlawn High School.
Yeah, Woodlawn.
And for Baton Rouge people, not Woodlawn of Baton Rouge, but Woodlawn of Shreveport, And they've got a great little kick returner from Neville High School.
Yep, Turpin.
Turpin.
He's a good player also.
It's kind of like the Cowboys of Louisiana this year.
Yeah.
And then Dak at quarterback. And their running backs are incredible. Those two running backs, Elliott and the other kid from Memphis.
Yes, he's good.
They work well together. Huh?
Yeah, they do. They're really, really good.
Who's next? Who's their next opponent? Do you know?
They play the Texans, so should be a good win for them this week.
Derek Stingley,
Yeah.
LSU corner. And they have an offensive lineman from LSU that is on there too deep. Coach, you won a state championship at Calvary early on this year. Came close. Y'all played a good Dunham team. You got a young team, and we're talking about how all your skill guys. I don't think you've ever had this happen before, but they're all coming back. Like if you added up all the stats of all your skill guys, I think everybody's coming back.
Yeah, I think we actually threw a pass to a senior one night. He caught one ball for 5 yards, and other than that, every single yard's returning. So we're really, really excited because we scored a bunch of points, and to get all that back next year is gonna be good.
Coach, what makes Shreveport-Bossier so strong for the South Louisiana crowd with quarterbacks? I mean, you had Landry Liddy. Obviously, Shea Patterson came out of Calvary a few years ago. There's been many. Obviously, we always talk about Terry Bradshaw, Joe Ferguson, and the late David Woodley, and we can go on and on and on. Dak Prescott, your guy. But what is it about North Louisiana and quarterbacks?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's the fact that, especially now, a bunch of teams up there are just throwing the ball all over the place. And, I think that's got them, to a higher level, getting more, their stats are a lot better and things like that. So people notice that.
You got a quarterback coming back who's a 24 guy who's a pretty good player, Abram Wardell, who's you're high on him, I know.
Yeah, he had a great year. He's actually a 25 guy.
25
He's a sophomore,
guy, yeah.
So, first year to start and just did, 80% completion rates unheard of, and that's what he did, and 30 touchdowns, and just a great year for him.
We're going to have your assistant, Marvin Williams, join us in a second. Before we go, we got about 30 seconds. What is your opinion of the portal? It's portal week with college
it's
football.
tough on high school kids, and they've become secondary in the recruiting process. Unless they're a 5-star guy, which everybody wants, but those good high school football players just not getting recruited anymore like they used to.
I don't like it because you got to protect your whole roster now as a college coach, and I don't know how these guys are able to even function mentally. I mean, you got to recruit the same time you're trying to keep your team now.
Yeah, they got to recruit them year round. So, it's a tough job for them.
They had 4 schools last night, Coach, lose 15 or more to the portal, and that should be about 20 colleges today with over 20 guys in the portal. Half of them starters.
Yeah, that's everybody's looking for a better spot, and the sad thing is half of them don't get a place to go.
Right,
40%. So
40%.
So that's a sad part of it.
Free education gone, and then you don't have a scholarship anymore at all. Coach, thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate you. Look forward to getting Marvin Williams on next, the offense coordinator, former player at Calvary Baptist, and then we got 3 great recruits from Calvary Baptist joining us after Coach Williams. We'll be right back.
Gros Savon Lodge, the true sportsman's paradise. Gros Savon Lodge has fresh and saltwater fishing, alligator hunting, waterfowl hunting, and eco tours located south of Lake Charles, Louisiana. Give them a call at 337-598-2357. That number to call again is 337-598-2357, and have the time of your life. Listen, whatever you're driving right now, Tommy Harvey wants it. Bring it in to Harvey Subaru, Lexus of Shreveport, Bossier City, or John Harvey Toyota. They're paying big bucks for all trades right now. They'll cut you a check right there. Tell them Lee sent you.
Welcome back. You're watching the Sports Scouting Report podcast. I'm Lee Burkeen, your host. We're at DeGiulio's restaurant in Baton Rouge. If you ever come to LSU campus, it's about a mile away. If you're close to Acadian, Catholic High Baton Rouge is not far away. It's on Perkins Road. They also have brunch. If you're ever in town in Baton Rouge and you wake up and you want to get some brunch, it's one of the best breakfasts in town, believe it or not. It's an Italian restaurant. Mike Johnson's the owner. You see the menu and behind us, a great, great place. Look, I come here about 3 times a week for the last 20 years, and there's nothing bad on the menu. And the pizza is one of the biggest sleepers in the city. You can ask Nolan, our producer. Their homemade pizza is off the chart. Their meatball, Marvin Williams, is incredible. I think it's like a K2 football. You know what I mean? It
Sounds good.
You getting hungry?
I am.
Thanks for joining us, Marvin.
No problem.
Marvin Williams might be the youngest. We didn't research it. Maybe the youngest offensive coordinator in Louisiana. He's 22 years old. What's it like to be a coordinator at 22?
Kind of stressful, kind of fun at the same time. Just don't screw it up. I mean, we're surrounded by a lot of talent. It's just our job is to get them the ball as simple as possible. Keep it simple.
What's it like coaching with Coach Guillen? What's it like?
Very, very fun. He take care of us. He makes sure that we don't want for anything or need anything. He makes it easy on us. So.
Now you played at Calvary Baptist.
I did.
And I mean, you went to college and bam.
I'm back there.
Right out of college.
Yep.
And coordinator.
Yep.
You spent some time at Louisiana Tech. You told me Northwestern State.
Yep.
Two good schools.
Yep.
What is it about the Shreveport area? I asked Coach this, but you played in Shreveport. Greedy Williams, Shea Patterson.
Play with those guys.
Those are your teammates.
Yep.
What is it about the programs in the area? And I watch a lot of ball in North Louisiana. I go up there a lot, even though I live in Baton Rouge, but even all the way to North DeSoto. North Caddo's good now. Airlines coming back and strong. I mean, all these schools, I mean, it seems like everybody's competitive.
Everyone's good. It's a good metro area of schools that are really, really good that can be really good any year. It's a lot of talent at each school. It's spread out now, not just 2 or 3 schools, kind of like how it's been in the past decade or so maybe, but just about every school is a contender any year.
Talk about all the skill talent you have.
Yeah.
It's got to, when you get a playbook, I'm sure it's all highlighted. It's got to be confusing. You've got 8 or 9 guys. I'm going to throw some names out. They're all coming back, and they all have a chance to be all-state next year. Aubrey Hermes, who's going to join us, big-time receiver. Julius Moss, big-time receiver / Xavier Tutt McLaughlin, whose cousin is playing for Arkansas, was at LSU. Great player.
Yep.
John Simon, Colby Thomas.
Yep.
James Simon's going to join us later. I don't leave anybody out. We go on. There's some other guys, but that's a court. How do you know, hey, who gets the ball, what play?
Well, it's really simple. They help me sleep at night. I tell them they do a good job of it. There's one football, and they don't care who gets it. We just want to win. They've come together quick as a team. They're pretty young. Hermes he'll be a 4-year starter going into his senior year. He's our workhorse. Him and Simon, those two help me sleep at night really well.
Colby Thomas.
Yep. KT also, he'll be a 3-year starter. When he graduates, he'll be a 4-year starter. So there's a lot of experience. They're young, but at the same time, they're super experienced. So,
I want to throw out some other players, not necessarily just offense, but Trey Davis, corner, who starts. Want to go down the list. Jimmy Wright's done a good job on O-line, D-line.
He'll be a 4-year starter.
Houston at DN's coming back, great player. Cade Bedgood's been a leader, team captain, senior. Garrett Little's a really good kicker, a senior. Chris Jackson, DB. Hutch Grace will be joining us later, who can play linebacker, can play any position on defense. We've got Braden, the long snapper. We've got Heath Gross, Landon, Sylvie.
Yep.
A lot of great players. I hope I'm not leaving anybody out, but a really good group of guys, and the future's bright, right, Coach?
Yes, sir, it is. A lot of talent, a lot of good kids. Yep.
Any final thoughts about the Calvary Baptist School or anybody about where you're coaching?
Well, it's just a great program. Being as a student and now as a faculty member, you see both sides of it, and it's a great program. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. It's a great program. Yes, sir.
Good luck to you. I'll be long and retired when you're getting in your 30s. But 22 years old right here, Marvin Williams. O-line coach, too.
Yep.
You played O-line, D-line for Calvary.
I did.
Who's the best quarterback to ever come out of Calvary? You played with Shea.
I played with a lot of good ones. Jake Bartley, Shea Patterson, Cade Hart. I was with Cade Hart.
All of them. And then Landry recently.
And then I coached Landry. So
Neighbor now.
It's a lot. I can't
Safe
pinpoint. A lot of people know Shea Patterson, and don't get me wrong, he was really good. Yeah. But my all-time favorite was Daniel Fitzwater.
Man, that's the name.
He He was a talented quarterback. And he had everything: height, the arm, pinpoint accuracy, velocity. Daniel Fitzwater was probably my favorite. If I had to create an all-time Calvary team, I think he'll maybe get the start.
The late
Yep,
Daniel.
the late Daniel Fitzwater. Yep.
Left us way too young.
Way
And his
too
brother
young.
was a great player.
Yep, I played with him also.
His brother went to
David.
Northwestern.
Yep.
David was a great player.
Yep.
Originally Tulsa.
Yep, originally Tulsa.
See there, you
Yep.
probably thought I didn't know that. But
Originally Tulsa.
finished at Northwestern. We'll be right back. Thank you, Marvin.
Thank you.
We're going to meet some of the players for Rodney and Marvin at Calvary Baptist. All three of these kids will be back next year. They're not seniors, and they're all going to be back at Calvary Baptist. We'll be back.
What does that bug man do?
Not only do we do pest control, we do odor control, bat removal, moisture control, rodents, and of course, bed bug control. Give the bug man a call. We get them before they get you.
Gros Savon Lodge, the true sportsman's paradise. Gros Savon Lodge has fresh and saltwater fishing, alligator hunting, waterfowl hunting, and eco tours located south of Lake Charles, Louisiana. Give them a call at 337-598-2357. That number to call again is 337-598-2357, and have the time of your life.
Welcome back. You're watching the Sports Scouting Report. I'm your host, Lee Burkeen Podcast. Be sure to go to YouTube and subscribe for free so you get all our shows. We do 3 a week. It's recruits some days, it's former legends other days, it's coaches, retired coaches. I even bring college coaches on when it's legal, right? It's not a dead period, and they can talk about recruits. We can talk about recruiting. And I'm so tired of this portal stuff, but I know it's here with us to stay for a little bit. But we'll talk about that a little bit more later on. But be sure to check us out, like I said, wherever you get your podcasts, or YouTube or Twitter. Right now, our first recruit from Calvary Baptist, who's only a junior, Hutch Grace. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Hutch, I talked to your dad and you over the summer. There was a connection with Evangel. Your dad played at Evangel. I watched your dad play at Evangel. I think I called him and was like, "Did you play at Evangel?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm that guy." And I'm like, "Oh, that's your son, Hutch." And so I watched you on film, like 2 of your teammates are going to be joining me pretty soon. But, I mean, you're this guy that just keeps growing and growing in football. I think you were like 200 pounds this summer when we talked.
Yes, sir, I was.
Now you're 215.
It was. You got to eat a lot. And it was with football season, your weight fluctuates, but sticking with it, it's worth it.
You're that athletic jumbo guy for coach on defense. You could be a linebacker, a safety. You could play a downhill. You could rush. You could do it all, but
Just a little bit.
a little bit. Like to hit
I would love to hit. That's the best part.
and can run
A little bit.
a little bit. And in baseball, do you complement that for football? You think baseball's helped you with football?
Definitely. Especially with the program we have at Calvary with our baseball program and who we bring in to help our program has definitely transferred over into football.
Hutch, tell everybody what you play in baseball. Position.
Outfield, anywhere in the outfield, and pitcher.
Power. You got some power.
I got a little juice.
Knock some home runs out.
Yes, sir.
You've picked off some passes.
I
I
have.
think you've had a pick six before, right?
I have.
Not bad for a guy 215.
No, it wasn't. Last year, played free safety, and ended the season with 8 interceptions,
Not bad.
but only had 54 tackles. And then this year, we only had 1 interception, but we transferred to outside linebacker and had over 100 tackles.
Coach says he'll take another 8 interceptions this coming year, right, Coach?
Yeah,
Or a bunch of tackles behind the line.
did both.
Who's a better player, you or your dad, you think?
Oh, definitely me. I think that my mom is the best player of the family, though. She definitely has the most athleticism.
Before we go, hobbies. What's your favorite hobbies?
Hunting, fishing, playing pickleball.
Pickleball. There you go.
It's a lot of
and
fun.
colleges you grew up liking?
I was always an LSU fan, but as I've gotten older, watching Arkansas and Texas A&M with Jimbo Fisher, definitely some of my top choices.
3 SEC schools, obviously good baseball programs too.
Yes, sir.
A&M, Arkansas, LSU.
Very
Probably
great.
the best 3 in the West this coming year in baseball.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you being on, Hutch.
Thank you for
Good
having
luck
me.
to you next year. He's already been starting since he could probably put his uniform on at Calvary Baptist, but he's going to be a heck of a player in the state next year, one of the top prospects. And we got two of his teammates coming up to join us in just a second. We'll be right back.
Listen, whatever you're driving right now, Tommy Harvey wants it. Bring it in to Harvey Subaru, Lexus of Shreveport, Bossier City, or John Harvey Toyota. They're paying big bucks for all trades right now. They'll cut you a check right there. Tell them Lee sent you.
What does that bug man do?
Not only do we do pest control, we do odor control, bat removal, moisture control, rodents, and of course, bed bug control. Give the bug man a call. We get them before they get you.
Welcome back. You're watching the Sports Scouting Report. I'm your host, Lee Burkeen, where you just met Hutch Grace, who's a junior. He's going to be one of the top prospects in the state next year, whatever he grows into, whether it's linebacker, going back to safety, and baseball. He's a D1 baseball player. Our next guest is another D1 player coming back to Calvary Baptist as a receiver, Aubrey Hermes, whose dad was a great player at Evangel and went to Kentucky. I remember watching him play back in the day with Kentucky, and I think it was right after the Marcus Randall Miracle Pass. I'm not sure if your dad was on that team or not, but was he on that team?
I think he was.
So he was on that.
I don't think he played that year,
but he saw that last play with Randall. I think it was Devery Henderson that caught it from Opelousas. Coach Fontenot would know, who's here doing the show later with Southside. But good to have you, man.
thanks for having me.
You put up some video numbers last year,
Yes, sir.
catches and yards, and this year again. What is it so natural for you to play wide receiver? I know your dad was a receiver. Did that help you be a good receiver early on?
Yeah, it helped, but Coach Marvin puts me in a good spot. I just have to execute. He gets us open, and it's all about execution.
Anybody ever tell you remind them of Abram Booty?
I know who that is, but I've never heard that.
Same size, same length and speed. You're a burner too. You're 6'2", 185 pounds. And I mean, tell everybody, you caught over 70 balls your sophomore year, over 1,000 yards. And this past year you did pretty good. But what's your favorite part of the game? Catching the ball? You like blocking? You like route running?
I like running routes. I mean, I don't like blocking that much, but you have to. I love blocking for him, though.
That's one thing you got to learn in college, the
Yeah.
blocking. What routes do you like?
We run a lot of goes. I catch a lot of contested passes. I like doing that. But
What are you thinking when a post route's run and the ball, it's a 50-50 ball? Do you
I
say
think I'm going to catch it every time.
it's mine?
Yes, sir.
You can out-muscle the guys. I see you do that a lot in the air. What's the hardest route for you to run, you think?
I don't think there's any that are particularly too hard, but I mean, I can run everything.
Over the middle of the field, huh?
Oh yeah, I don't mind running over the middle.
Just got to watch that linebacker over the middle. Hobbies. What's your favorite hobbies?
I play baseball. I play golf. I like playing golf.
You said that.
Yeah.
Any hole-in-ones?
No, I'm not very good, but
No?
I like
Just
playing.
like it? Favorite colleges growing up?
Well, my whole family's LSU fans.
Okay.
My dad, he likes Kentucky, but I like LSU. I like Arkansas. I like Ole Miss, Mississippi State.
Who's a better baseball player, you or Hutch?
Mm,
This is just to have fun
I would
with
have to go me. Sorry.
Okay. Y'all are both D1 baseball players too.
Yeah, he's great. I love baseball, yeah.
Would you like to play both? Final question to you.
Probably not.
Which
it's,
one?
It's tough going back and forth,
Yeah.
but I would go football.
Football. All right. All right. No offense to baseball people out there, but good to have you on today, Aubrey. And I know you got another year left, and you got a chance to break all the records too, receiving at the school. One more year left.
Thanks
Good
for
luck
having
to
me.
you, man. Next, we've got a great young man. His dad's a college coach at Grambling. His dad played at Southern Lab in Baton Rouge. His brother's on the team. They're both starters, and their last name is Simon. We'll talk about who he is and introduce this young man. And he's a young player that's really got a great future. We'll be right back.
Gros Savon Lodge, the true sportsman's paradise. Gros Savon Lodge has fresh and saltwater fishing, alligator hunting, waterfowl hunting, and eco tours. located south of Lake Charles, Louisiana. Give them a call at 337-598-2357. That number to call again is 337-598-2357, and have the time of your life. Listen, whatever you're driving right now, Tommy Harvey wants it. Bring it in to Harvey Subaru, Lexus of Shreveport, Bossier City, or John Harvey Toyota. They're paying big bucks for all trades right now. They'll cut you a check right there. Tell them Lee sent you.
Welcome back. Lee Burkeen, your host of Sports Scouting Report podcast. You've met Hutch Grace, you've met Aubrey Hermes, and now you got a great young kid. He's a 225 player who started this year, and actually not just started, but showed he's one of the top running backs in the state. Very mature kid. His dad, John, played at Southern Lab High School, played at Louisiana Tech, was a very good football player, and now is a college coach at Grambling. And if you notice, there's a lot of Shreveport offers out there to Grambling. That's not my mistake. Your dad is recruiting Shreveport.
Like yeah, I'm trying to make sure.
Thanks for joining us, man. James Simon.
Yes, sir.
And your brother, John, is also a teammate.
Yes, sir.
Now, you're only a sophomore. You got 2 years left.
Yep.
6 foot 190.
Yep.
What's it like for you to be able to be on the stage at such a young age as a true sophomore, playing and starting and doing well? Your dad was a running back.
Mm-hmm.
I know this had to help you a little bit, right?
Yeah. He kind of prepared me since I was a kid. I've been playing up, since Pop Warner, since the young ages. I've been playing with my brother. So I had to play age up. I always just kind of had to mature level, and I had to cope with the older kids and going against them. So kind of, it's eye-opening, but I'm kind of used to it, so I don't think it's that much of a challenge.
You grew up around a coach's son. Dad coached at Arizona State a little bit, Southern Miss, now at Grambling. But your game, I was asking you what you think you model your game, but Robinson at Texas.
Yeah.
John Robinson, who's from Arizona, your dad recruited him.
Mm-hmm.
So you know him as a kid meeting him. And I think he's the top running back for the draft. You obviously agree.
Best, yeah.
Gibbs is good at Alabama, but they don't come smoother than Robinson.
Yeah.
So what about his game do you like that you like to use a little bit?
I like his open field moves. I like how he's quick and he's explosive. And he just plays fast and he just never stops. He gets all the ball a lot at Texas and never phases him. He always makes sure to go 4 quarters if he needs to, and he just knows how to push through.
There aren't many guys 6 foot 220 that look like they're just floating side to side.
Right.
He looks like he's on a cloud and he's not even trying.
Right.
Nimble, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, like butter, like just smooth, and doesn't run high. And when he does, he stiff arms you.
Mm-hmm.
And once he hits the 3 yards in, it's over.
Yeah.
And his backup running back in Texas is going to play in the NFL too.
Mm-hmm.
It's a shame Texas didn't have a better defense, right? So what are your hobbies?
I like to play basketball. I play video games. I just like to hang out with friends and talk to my family.
Now, this is an important question. Your dad's a Baton Rouge guy.
Mm-hmm.
You've seen Arizona State as a kid. You saw Southern Miss. You've seen Grambling now. Do you have favorite colleges growing up?
I grew up a Leonard Fournette fan, big Leonard Fournette
okay.
fan, so I always had a good liking for LSU. I loved Arizona State while I was there, and I've gained a liking for Alabama and Georgia. I like them a lot. Yeah.
And then kind of open from there. What's your biggest hobbies? Again.
I do also like to talk about sports sometimes. My brother, because he's a big sports fan.
Sportscaster one day?
Yeah.
There you go.
Maybe.
I was going to ask you about John. What do you think of your brother? I mean, y'all are teammates.
He's great. He's a good person to be around. He's a tassel and be with that house.
Is he a year older?
Yeah, he's older brother.
You're the young brother. Any final thoughts about Calvary in the future? You'll have a lot of good players coming back.
Next year is going to be a great year. A good one to watch. Most definitely.
Well, James, keep doing a good work. Keep working hard. I know you're at that spot where you keep getting better and go all the way to the top.
Sure.
Coach again, I know Coach Williams. They're excited. Appreciate everybody watching the show today. Appreciate Hutch being on the show, and also Aubrey Hermes and Marvin Williams, Coach Rodney Guillen. Calvary Baptist is a great program. We will see everybody on Friday. We have Southside High School that we'll be taping today with Coach Fontenot. We'll see you on Friday.
Thanks for listening to the Sports Scouting Report podcast with Lee Burkeen.